Many claim there's beef between Sami Zayn and Triple H. Sami was told no. But is it as serious as claimed or just another internet exaggeration? We'll talk about that. Ricochet bearing WWE talent, Chelsea Green, John Cena, Big E retires and Ric Flair. Well, to put it quite simply, Ric Flair will never retire. All that on greatness of wrestling. Of course, you are the sheep of the GreatoneyT channel and I am the greatest of all time, Vladimir Krupnik, or you can simply call me Papi69. Booyaka, amigos! So let's talk about more Triple H shenanigans. I always wonder, so many people talk shit about Triple H. I wonder if he hates it or he just loves attention so much he just takes it all in, man. They talk about me. They talk about me. According to Meltzer, Sami Zayn pushed to win the Undisputed Championship against Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, which happened in Saudi, and Triple H ultimately chose to keep the title on Drew. And that's all there is to this story, and obviously this somehow got to the point of Triple H and Sami, they almost fought backstage. Ooh, there's a lot of drama. Sami was told no. Triple H buried Sami Zayn. Sami's push was rejected. I honestly don't think it's as personal as people believe. Imagine you are the booker of the WWE right now. It's Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Do you have Drew McIntyre losing the WWE Championship? Answer that honestly. Do you actually see Drew McIntyre losing that championship? If you said yes, loco. Loco. I think it's really as simple as Drew McIntyre just won the championship. The story of Sami Zayn so far isn't even that interesting. But I think I've also seen reports that eventually it might happen at WrestleMania. Not this year's Mania though, WrestleMania 43. Now that I do believe, since Mania is happening in Saudi, which I know we're not too excited about, but it is what it is, right? People, if we're being real for a second, anytime we complain about the WWE and still watch, we're kind of a part of the problem, aren't we? Anyway, people, I don't even really want Sami Zayn to be the WWE champion right now or anytime soon. Obviously, these kind of things change. Eventually, if we get a cool story of Sami Zayn, if somehow that fire is back, sure. But right now, I don't see the product calling for it. Sami cuts the same promo every week, and I like Sami. You know, at one point, probably for most of you too, he was probably your favorite in a way. He was so entertaining, and now he's cutting the same promo. He's an underdog who's no longer an underdog, who still sometimes kinda acts like an underdog. If he is going to win the WWE Championship eventually, which is probably not gonna happen at this year's Mania, I hope that WWE know what they're doing and they're actually building the guy, because the same mistake that happened with Jey Uso could happen again. Sure, the fans want that, it's a cool story, but the follow-up could be really, really disappointing and underwhelming. And I am seeing a lot of people basically saying Sami Zayn is simply not championship material. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. What is a championship material, really? I think championship material is somebody who's incredibly over. Sami Zayn currently is not that. Did Triple H reject Sami's push because of that reason? I don't know. I still believe he believes in Sami Zayn and is probably going to push him to the moon eventually. I just kind of find it surprising that Sami Zayn, well, if the rumors are correct, obviously we're just gossiping. We're just a bunch of fucking losers. You know, I can't believe Sami Zayn actually had that idea. You know, I should win that championship. Drew just won. You've done shit since then. Shit. Why am I talking in such a high pitch? Literally, if Sami Zayn won that championship at the Rumble, that would probably be the definition of a transitional champion. Now, for the most part, I agree with everybody on Sami Zayn. He kinda, I wouldn't necessarily fell off, but, you know, he's not doing anything interesting, but it's kinda crazy how perception can change so quickly. At one point, everybody wanted Sami Zayn to win that WWE Championship. Unfortunately, Roman Reigns' championship title reign was so iconic, so legendary. Oh boy, do I actually miss it, and I hate myself for at times wanting it to end. I was wrong, people. I was wrong. And now, nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants Sami Zayn in the main event anymore. As a matter of fact, when he won the United States Championship, people complained. You know, it's kinda crazy. Now, this video is going to feature a lot of sadness, a lot of rage bait, a lot of BS. I want to talk about something funny. Bret Hart refused to sign a Funko Pop that Shawn Michaels signed.
9-4. I'll just put it right there, just an autograph. I'm not gonna sign this. Okay.
I love this guy. He's my spirit animal. You know, I have Bret Hart inside of me. That sounded wrong anyway. You get what I mean, right? I'm not gonna sign that. I'm not gonna sign that, man. Bret Hart is just simply fed up with shit, man. This might be the best moment on my second channel, by the way.
I think that Shawn and Vince were sleeping with each other.
He's just real. You can't hate a man for being real. This picture's probably ingrained into your memory, people. And 76-year-old Ric Flair, I don't believe that, first of all. I think he's like a couple of thousand years old at least. Still a youngster in my eyes. He says, I'll never retire. I'll never retire. I'll think wrestling again. He probably wants to wrestle again. He's been thinking about it. Stop the thinking. Like, there's nothing to think about, Flair. There is nothing to think about. We, as fans of the legendary, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, say, we want you alive. You know. Someone wants him versus Ricky Morton, but the price has to be right. He last wrestled in 2022. It's crazy to say that, by the way. He retired in like 2008 in the WWE, and he already looked old as hell. Like, people couldn't believe he wrestled, and then he wrestled again, in which he almost died in that match, I believe. Man, rough watch, by the way, rough watch. So there's this WrestleOps post, right? 76-year-old Ric Flair says he's thinking about wrestling again. And I saw the screenshot, I thought it's fake. Like, that's the meme, Ric Flair wrestling again, he will never retire, you know? That's the meme, that's the joke. Apparently it's real because I just opened X and Charlotte Flair responded, absolutely not. Like, she's publicly saying, Papi Flair, it's time to lace up the boots. It's time to put them and leave them in the ring. Man, absolutely hilarious, people, but for real, Ric Flair, you've done enough. You've done enough. Nothing you could possibly do in that ring would elevate your legacy in any shape or form. It's just doing harm. I'm talking as if he watches. Obviously he does. 10,000 women, people. He likes the videos, he clicks that like, and it gives him the interest. And moving on, Ricochet has heat with the WWE locker room. So Ricochet claims that WWE killed his career, killed his momentum, killed his love for wrestling. Then he kept saying, same thing happens to Balor, Shinsuke, Apollo, and many others. WWE kills legacies and love of the sport. It's what they do best. Now look, whether you agree with that statement or not, obviously Balor should have been bigger in the WWE. Shinsuke probably too. Apollo probably too. I kinda agree, but to post this shit publicly and kinda bury your colleagues like that, you know, imagine you're Finn Balor. He's basically saying, yeah bro, they killed your career, as if everything these guys did in professional wrestling ever since they joined the WWE is insignificant. That's absolutely crazy. If I would be Balor, if I would be Shinsuke, if I would be Apollo, I would be pissed. Why is this guy shitting on us? And at the end of the day, like, whatever way you look at it, they're working for the biggest wrestling company in the world. We like to nitpick shit and talk about championships, legacies, and all that bullshit, but they're making shitloads of money. And you know, at that point of their careers, it really matters. So dude just straight up randomly decided to bury his former colleagues, and Observer reports that WWE talent are annoyed by his comments, and it makes sense. In a way, he kinda said that some of these careers, ever since they joined the WWE, are insignificant. So I can kinda understand why would WWE talent be pissed off by that. You know, people, I don't get what Ricochet is doing. Like, he's participating in this Twitter rage bait and all of that shit. I feel like most people should probably just leave this place. I have to use it sometimes, obviously because of content. I have to, and it sucks, but I don't participate, I don't tweet, I don't engage, I don't give a shit. Like, ever since Twitter started paying people for posts, it's just a bunch of rage bait and people saying just random ass shit. Rage bait, bullying, and all of that BS, right? Why is he, as a grown man, participating in shit like this? He keeps responding to everybody, and he always claims, I'm so happy in AEW. Be happy. Be happy in AEW. Being happy in AEW doesn't necessarily need to translate shitting on the other company and their workers every single day. That's like, I don't know, me leaving for Twitch and every day talking shit about YouTube, how it sucks, how it's terrible, and everybody who's still making YouTube videos is an idiot. No, just do your thing. An incredibly talented wrestler who spends most of his time lately just rage baiting or getting rage baited. Twitter fucks with you emotionally. Quit this shit. Now, people, if you watch WWE Unreal and you saw what they said about Chelsea, it probably kinda pissed you off in a way. Michael Hayes basically said that Chelsea is just here for building the Charlotte Flairs of this business. Her job is basically to elevate other talent. Now we'll get into it, but a few days ago Chelsea responded. She admitted that the comments upset her, especially coming from someone high up. She said she's self-aware of her position, but hearing that there is this ceiling placed on her was frustrating, especially hearing it outright on the television, publicly, right? Why would you say shit like this? She knows her place, she knows she's not the top talent. I will disagree with Chelsea. I will disagree with Chelsea. I will say, relatable great one, good guy great one, you go girl. You go girl, because what I saw on SmackDown impressed me. She's a good wrestler, she has a character, great on the microphone, over everywhere she goes, in the United States, in London, internationally, people. I hate the ceiling that WWE creates for talent sometimes. I get that the initial return of Chelsea Green was for her to push other talent. She's the annoying talent you beat, obviously she talks shit, get hit, I understand the point, but sometimes you just gotta move with the flow. If you see that, well, the perception of Chelsea Green is changing. People actually enjoy her matches, people actually enjoy her moments, she's getting so much, cheers from the crowd. Well, plans need to change. Maybe we shouldn't just shoot down the idea of her eventually possibly becoming a main eventer in the WWE. I can honestly understand how she felt hearing that shit, because it's like, yeah, I'm doing a good job, and I'm almost kinda getting punished for it. Like, serious question, what is she exactly lacking compared to the other talent? I'm not gonna drop any names right now, but I can look at a lot of talent in the women's division that are far less talented than Chelsea Green for getting all the opportunities. Yeah, said it. Yes, Vladimir Krupnik said it, people. So may I speak on behalf of the sheep of the Great One's channel, the masters of the 69 Army. We stand for Chelsea Green. People, John Cena is not gonna be in the Hall of Fame according to Fightful Select, and that's because Stephanie McMahon is expected to headline. Nothing against Stephanie, an iconic wrestling character. I don't really believe one has to take from the other. Like, Stephanie, is she really that exciting for majority of wrestling fans to be the headliner? I don't know. Obviously not that big of a deal, people. Eventually John Cena, my prediction is John Cena might go into the Hall of Fame. And let's make a deal, people. If John Cena eventually gets into the Hall of Fame, you owe me money. Everybody owes me $10. How many of you are watching right now? Do we have a deal, people? Do we have a deal that John Cena, I know it's a shocking prediction, eventually will go on to be a Hall of Famer? In all seriousness, I am really excited for that speech eventually. Unfortunately, people, Biggie officially retired. Unfortunate news. I didn't have high hopes anymore, but I was kind of expecting maybe one day he's gonna come out and screw the New Day because of that moment we got, in which unfortunately WWE barely followed up on. So, Biggie retired. I guess I'm just kind of glad he did become a WWE champion. One of the most wholesome wrestlers of all time. Great dude. The good news is he's really good in his role. He's a natural, and it's so fun watching all of these guys who left the WWE, either got injured, and some of these guys just didn't succeed, to either see them in producer roles, to see them in, analyst roles, commentary roles. It's always nice seeing that after you're done with professional wrestling, which obviously, takes a toll on your body, you do still have a role in professional wrestling. Another reason probably why charisma and microphone skills are far more important than wrestling skills. But people, that's all I got for you today in greatness of wrestling. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.